Most speakers have talked about the need to measure what is happening, and how to measure what is happening is what you want to talk about right now. But to start with, it's important to be clear about what marketing research is all about. Marketing research is a systematic collection of data about marketing activities to have informed decision and take appropriate decision that will take the company or business forward. The impact of COVID-19 is felt globally, and the economic consequences of the pandemic has made people to cut back on purchases, trade down, and defer purchases as much as possible. The outbreak has made companies and brands uncertain about their future. We are all like in the waiting mode, expecting what happens next. Only yesterday or thereabout, the federal government of Nigeria removed the interstate lock for us to travel across states. And mobility is part of marketing. Without being restricted. As much as we talk about digital marketing today, there will still be need for the logistics. There will be need for people to move from one place to another. The country has been on lockdown for approximately 3 months now, and we start cutting what we could call economic slump. This is a great impact. As at yesterday, the national Okay, thank you. I think you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Now, the new normal has been described in various ways, but the one I found mostly apt for describing the new normal is the VUCA concept. We are in a volatile period where changes occur much more frequent than before. As of today, we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Now that interstate has been unlocked, travel has been unlocked, I'm sure that NCDC is anticipating a lot of rise on interstate and community transmission of COVID-19. That is very apprehensive. In the volatile environment, I will try and be faster with this. I'm home with MTN, I'm home with Airtel, I'm home with Joe, but they all keep behaving somehow. Now, let's move on. It is also a complex situation because a number of factors are going to come up yet unknown. As much as we don't know these factors as they unfold, we'll continue to monitor to be able to take decisions and move forward. And this makes the whole thing ambiguous. It makes the whole thing ambiguous. And when we are in a VUCA situation, long-term decision cannot be taken. You have to rely on constant monitoring of events as they unfold and take decisions simultaneously. Knowing our marketplace and customers has always been the best way to meet the market demands. All the presenters so far have mentioned how customer is important, how knowing what the customer wants is important, how connecting with the customer is important during COVID-19 and post-COVID-19. Smart companies will adopt a proactive approach to understand what changes are taking place. And it is only in that way we can be ready to adjust our products, services, and strategies to meet both current and future customers' needs. However, businesses might not need the same information as before. One thing in research is that we rely on past data, past trends to predict what is likely to happen in the future. At a personal level, a number of things have already changed in the way I spend my life, in the way you spend your life. I will take two obvious ones. Look at the way you fill your car with petrol. Now you don't go out anyhow. You only go out when it's absolutely necessary. And on that single activity alone, you have reduced your spend on petroleum consumption. One of the factors that we could not anticipate properly was the recent change in pump price. It just jumped from 123 naira per liter to 143 naira per liter in the last 24 hours. How many of these factors or development are we going to emphasize? The bottom line is that we will need information. What kind of information we will need, and it's going to change from time to time. Organization will need new kind of data that gives a better perspective on today's challenges. We will need more and frequent experience data. We need data on product experience, customer experience, employee experience, and brand experience. All these four experiences are interrelated. For product experience, a number out there have taken the back seat now. Customers have deferred what? Purchase. Let's take tourism, for instance. The people in tourism business are on holiday forcibly. And if they are going to come back, it's a matter of time. Customer experience is going to be unfolding. Not only that, employee experience is key, as well as brand experience. By monitoring all these experience we have listed together, it will bring the voice of people that matters into our strategic conversations. Whether it's the employee, the customer, or even the prospect, monitoring what is happening is key. And that is why research is going to be necessary and relevant during and post-COVID-19, especially in the new normal. While thinking about this, I came up with 7 questions that marketing research will help to address, because as marketers, we only need information to make decisions. And every research starts by asking a pertinent marketing question. What are these questions that research will help to address? The first one, how are people responding to the pandemic? And what are the implications in our country? The microeconomic growth is already stampeded, and we are marching towards outside the economic slump right now, because government will continue to institute control measures that will invariably impact on our lifestyle. Even though the lockdown has been relaxed, various laws are coming up. If you are caught without using face mask in Lagos State, you are going to be fined. And these are some of the things that inform the behavior and activities of individual beings. Also, we can reasonably expect consumption levels to drop as people cut back on non-essential purchases. How do we determine the essential purchases of recent time and what are non-essential purchases? Time will tell. But right now, people are concentrating more on food and health-related purchases. The duration of these effects will vary by country, depending on how quickly and effectively nations are able to respond. In essence, we will need regular and frequent data collection to provide insight into how behaviors Sorry, I've just been informed that my screen is off. Okay. Okay, thank you. So the first of the question is that how are people responding to the pandemic and what are the implications in our country? We know the economy is coming down. Consumption level is also dropping. The duration of all this our country is able to respond. Therefore, regular and frequent data collection will provide insights into how behaviors, fears, and expectations are changing in our country. And the full implications of the pandemic will continue to unfold in our face. The second question that borders on market research: how is customer behavior changing in specific market category? If you look at the inverted triangle, whatever happens at the global level and the country level will impact on specific market category level. And that will go
Sincere apologies for this network challenge. I think its location seems not to be too favorable to this, or the network are not too favorable to this location. So bear with us. We'll wait for yet another 2 minutes And if you are unable to get it,
customer behavior changing in specific categories. Okay. Now, as behaviors change and new habits and needs arise, we will need constant assessment of the changing needs and behaviors. And to that, we have to adjust our offers, logistics, and communication to meet the practical and emotional needs of our customers. It's better to look at research from the point of view of marketing decisions. The next question we'll consider as marketer is, will our marketing mix and content resonate well during the pandemic and beyond? All the presentations yesterday agree to the fact that we are now in a new normal. The traditional piece of marketing were presented yesterday, and what are the likely changes have been presented as well. Today's presentation by Dio indicates that we are going to need more of virtual connection for our marketing activities going forward. Will our marketing mix in terms of product, in terms of price, in terms of promotion resonate well during this period and beyond? A new trend is already emerging. One is the fact that people are changing their shopping habits, brand engagements, and media consumption. More consumers are shopping online now, leveraging on social media more than ever, and are spending more time on streaming TVs. A lot of people watch short drama, short adverts on their iPhones. These are new medium for interacting and engaging with the customer. Before expanding our marketing mix to incorporate multi-channel opportunities, we need to understand the kind of value customers want. Therefore, evidence-based decisions will inform our choice of activities within our marketing mix. It is only by knowing what is happening to the customer hand, since the customer is king and is the essence of our business, that we can adapt appropriately what our marketing mix and content should be. Recent studies have shown that people love story, and that when they're talking about social media or digital market, they talk about creating stories, they talk about content is the most important thing. Having said that, the content must be relevant to the customer before it could be accepted and appreciated. And that is where research comes in. Another important question to look at is, how are the employees feeling? According to research Branson, take care of your employees and they will take care of your business. It's as simple as that. Our fellow employees are feeling no less uncertain than the rest of us. Some may be focal in their concerns about safety, while others are too timorous as fear of layoff films in the air. Both small, medium, and large enterprises are talking about adjusting the staff strength during and post-COVID. Migrating to virtual connection with customer will necessitate drop in number of essential staff. So it's inevitable. So beyond this obvious development, what are other practical and emotional needs that must be addressed? More than ever, representative sampling of employees' confidence or lack of it is an important research during and post-COVID. You may use whatever criteria to disengage a number of employees. Those who are left behind, you must gauge their feeling. I usually smile when I enter a client's environment and I see a suggestion box, and they say, this suggestion box for the staff. There was a day I asked one of my clients, a multinational, sir, I've been seeing this suggestion box. How often do you retrieve comments in the suggestion box? And do you get adequate feedback from the suggestion box? Say, my brother, who dare put anything in the suggestion box? Who cares about suggestion box? It then means that there must be a systematic way of asking these questions of the employees, and they're able to provide anonymous responses that will be very useful to the management. Another question, how will the pandemic influence a brand's long-term prospect? The key issue here is, Adjustment will take place in terms of brand purchases and so on and so forth. But are we monitoring such that we'll be able to reasonably get ready and be positioned for the recovery period? Whatever response we have right now will continue to change on the new normal stabilizes. It's going to stabilize. Like in one of the news that was relayed, that people will continue to come up with the virus, they'll be admitted in the hospital, some will come back, some will go, but other people will continue to live. And then when the normalcy returns, are the people going to take the same brand they are enjoying now? Research will predict that. As much as it's shifting, the research will monitor the speed at which this is shifting and changing. I used to tell people, when they say a situation is uncertain, I say, well, there should be some element of certainty in how uncertain a situation is. And one of it is, how frequent does it change? If it changes nearly every hour, so you are certain that there is going to be a new change in another hour. So you get ready for the new change. And that is why long-term decision is not affordable at this point in time. Question 6, is it possible to obtain reliable insight in this time of pandemic? My answer is yes. In times of crisis, it's more important than ever to listen, learn, and understand what the customer is going through. According to Jackie says it's vital to keep listening to customers during this period. Continuous data collection will give companies a clearer path forward as the crisis resolves. This will allow us to emerge faster with a confident strategy for growth and success as the world economies recover. The key word there is confident strategy. If you don't know where you are coming from, it may be very difficult to quickly determine where you want to go. Therefore, monitoring what is happening at this period and beyond is very critical. Consumers can still tell us about a lot of things. They give data about their phones, their cars, the food they eat, the exercise they do, how much time they spend in the house, what they spend their time on, about other products and services. However, their answers on many topics may be changing as the pandemic unfolds, and this calls for monitoring studies. What type of research will prove useful in the upcoming period? As marketers and researchers roll into work, there are certain studies that are not advisable right now, such as market segmentation study. The closest example I can give is when we try to partition the entire market into the top of the pyramid, the middle of the pyramid, and the bottom of the pyramid. But within these broad categories of A-class people, C-class what types of research will be very useful during this period? If we know the ones that are not very useful now, for example, ethnographic study is not useful now. In ethnographic study, what we do essentially is to live among the customer, to observe and record and ask questions about their normal life behavior. And in recent past, I did an ethnographic study with household equipment. And there we have to stand in watching, you see it now. We have to stand in watching housewives, ladies, women using washing machine so that we can ask them what kind of problem and challenge they have. That may be difficult now because everybody is very careful. Everybody is afraid of contracting the virus. Hope you are still seeing my screen. Okay, thank you. Now,
yes, sir. As you round up, sir,
that means that we have to focus on short-term and short-range kind of studies, such as panel study, omnibus. In omnibus, we have a number of. Hello? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I say as you wrap up, we can hear you as you wrap up.
Another difficulty we have in research is that face-to-face research may not be an option to make. Hello? Join other presenters so far. Okay, we are almost done. Also, it may be difficult right now to do face-to-face research for obvious reasons. However, all other forms of research, telephone, interview, Zoom, Skype, email, online, they are all feasible. However, they come with a number of challenges. Of course, we need to also find out which one is best fit for our purpose and suitable for our budget as well. For some topics and projects, it may be necessary now to consider telephone research as a supplement to online and email studies to get sufficient response rate. I had a meeting with one of my clients recently on a project that was pending prior to the coronavirus. And he was asking, how are we going forward with this project now? And I told him we are going to use virtual contact. We are going to use virtual contact. Let me continue. We are going to see, can you see my video? Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, we can see it. Your time is up, sir.
Can see me. Thank you very much. I will round up. So sorry about this itching network. Now, the important thing here is that we have to adopt all virtual contact approaches for research. But the important thing about research is that the study, the science may have to guide the focus and objective of our study. Prior to this time, we look at the objective for a particular marketing research and determine the appropriate methodology to use. Now we are limited by the choice of methodology. To conduct a qualitative study now, bringing people together in a focused group discussion might be difficult. If that, where that is possible, we are going to use fewer people than before. Rather than bringing 10, 8 people into a room for discussion, we may be using 4, 5 people. Another important one is that probability sampling may be very difficult during this period because we cannot meet people face to face. On the other hand, structured interviews, short surveys, 20 minutes to 30 minutes maximum, can be conducted online and through telephone. Barring the challenges of the network that I've had, I emphasize the fact that market research is very useful now and beyond
apology, ladies and gentlemen. Our speaker, we are sincerely sorry for the mix-up and all of the challenges that come with the network. But